Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or I should be welcoming myself back. I've really been reflecting on this issue, and this is probably why I've been away. Why is it so hard when I really want to do something? And I have the desire to do it, but it's like this force field that's keeping me from moving forward, keeping me from growing, keeping me from accomplishing goals, keeping me from completing projects. I have the desire, right? But it was always like there was something just really standing in the way. Myself, of course, but wanting to really understand why I can't move forward, even though I have the desire, even though, I have the mindset to do it. What's going on here? And so today we're going to talk about resistance. And I was able to put a name to the force field that I feel like, I was coming up against. And so resistance is that force where that pushes back when you're trying to move forward. That can show up in procrastination. It can show up in distractions. It can show up in self-doubt and even fear. And those are things that I've been struggling with over these last few months. And what's so funny is that I was able to do things that were distractions, things that kept me in my comfort zone. I had a desire to do the things that were going to push me forward and grow me, but the things that I shouldn't have been doing were easy to do. And the things that I should be doing, like growing my channel, encouraging others, moving more in a growth mindset, those things were what I found to be the most difficult. And as I was going through, searching, like, what the heck is this? I found that it was a natural part of the growth process. That resistance is a natural part of the growth process. And so that really opened my eyes. So number one, that's why I'm here recording again, because I want to get past this. I want to be able to grow. I want to be able to do the things that are going to encourage me, that are going to encourage you. And so these are things that have just plagued me over the last few months. And so as I go over my notes, I think about what are those things that we can do to help combat those feelings of resistance. Because I was thinking something was wrong with me. I was thinking I was lazy. And I'm like, I'm married, I have children, I have a full-time job. I have so much going on. So it's not that I'm not doing something, but what is it that's keeping me from helping me become the very best person that I could be? And you think about growth. You think about when you're going to train, when you're trying to build muscle, when you want to lose weight, there are things, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. And then there was something that I was reading that says your brain tries to keep you or fights to keep you in your comfort zone. I guess because growth hurts. Growth can hurt. Growth can be very uncomfortable. And so what are we going to do about that? What am I going to do about that? And so when I think about that, and as I was going over this word resistance, and once again, resistance is that internal force that pushes back when you try to move forward. And once again, be encouraged to know that resistance is normal. It's your brain's way of keeping you or trying to keep you in your comfort zone. The problem is growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. Those are my notes that I'm reading here. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Growth doesn't happen in complacency. And not that I didn't know these things, but these are things that are just really opening up my own mind to moving forward, to growing, right? I can't grow if I'm stuck in a comfort zone. And I was listening to a preacher, and I really follow him. I love his teachings. Our greatest reward is on the other side of obedience. The problem is that sometimes it's hard to obey. It's hard to just to grow, to move forward. It's hard. It's hard. And so I'm going to leave you with a few things, and I am not in any way an expert. And so we're on this freaking journey together. What are some of the things that we can do to overcome resistance? Acknowledge it. And I'm telling you, a lot of this started with my own prompt in ChatGPT, because I'm like, okay, and I have my own therapist, but I'm just sitting here. I'm like, I can use ChatGPT to do all kinds of crazy stuff. Why? Let me just see what it tells me when I ask it. Why can't I move forward? When I have this desire to do something, what the heck? Why can't I move forward? And so in all of that, the word resistance came up. And then when I saw the word resistance, I'm like, yes, that's it. That is what I've been dealing with. And then when I learned that it's not me being lazy, it's not something wrong with me. It is a part of the natural growing process. And when I heard that, I'm like, yes, okay. Now that I know what it is, now that I know that it is a part of the natural growth process, and that there's nothing wrong with me, then maybe I can do something about it. And so that is acknowledging it. I have a problem with resistance. I have a problem with that natural force that shows up, that tries to keep me from growing, that part of the process that tries to keep my brain in comfort zone mode, knowing that I can't grow in a comfort zone. And so acknowledging it, we have to acknowledge it, recognize when resistance shows up. Instead of beating myself up, thinking that I failed, and I'm telling you, I have been plagued with that. Oh my God, I'm a failure. I'm never gonna be what I'm supposed to be. I'm never gonna get to this this place in life. I'm never gonna get past where I am in life. And so now that I'm acknowledging it, this video is me acknowledging that I have an issue with resistance, that part of the natural growth process. And so another thing, it says to start small. And so I'm starting small with this video. Sometimes the task feels overwhelming, and that's why resistance is so strong, because it does feel overwhelming, especially when you're looking at it from an overall big picture, because you're trying to figure out, how can I get to this big picture? When we know the cliches, Rome wasn't built in a day. We know that anything good, anything great takes time, and it happens step by step. What's the saying? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time? And forgive me, elephants, I love you guys. I'm not trying to cannibalize you here. But just that thought of taking this bigger picture and breaking it down in steps, making it smaller, making it digestible, one step at a time. And so the next, creating accountability, telling someone about your goals, telling someone that this is what I want to do, this is where I want to be, and they can hold you accountable to that. And that's something too, that's also an issue for me, accountability, and also having someone that you can talk to about these things, because I'm more introverted. And I don't have a huge friend circle. And so that's a struggle for me too. Isolation, keeping myself to myself. And so hopefully when, again, this is me recognizing my own issues and working through them so I can grow, so I can be focused, so I can concentrate on the things that I need to in order to, grow, right? Good grief, in order to grow. I can't move forward if I don't recognize that I'm in a place of comfort, And I can never get to where I'm ordained to be, where God has called me to be, if I'm stuck in comfort, you know. And it's another thing, I was listening to the same preacher, and he's on YouTube as well, and he was saying that God's not going to magically give you that strength. That God is giving you your brain. God is giving you so many things. He's giving you your tools. You have to push yourself forward, you know. And I think it's just the acknowledgement of it, acknowledging, hey, I need to move forward here. You know, I can't get to anywhere in the world in my same spot. I can't. If I want to go to California, I have to make the steps to get to California. I have to book my flight. If I'm going to stay in California, I have to book my hotel. Those are the steps that's going to get me to California. When I get to California, to lodge in California. When I get to California, if I want to eat, I have to go and find a place to eat. I have to have the money to make sure that I can sustain myself while I'm there. Those are those small steps. And if we're trying to get to a destination, whatever that destination may look like, we have to make those steps to get there. And another, remembering my why. And so when we want to push past resistance, we have to remember why. Identify your why. Identify my why. Why do I want to grow? Why do I want to be in a different place than I am a year from now? Why do I want to do this? You know, what are your goals? What are your aspirations? You know, who do you want to touch? Whose lives do you want to touch? How do you want to use your platform? How do you want to grow your voice? You know, so remembering the why, and that why has to be stronger than that feeling of resistance. And so we have to remind ourselves. And when we remind ourselves, what's the bigger picture? You know, who are we doing this for? Focusing on the why helps us push through the moments when we just want to quit. And I'm telling you, I have been there. Maybe last week, the minutes where you just want to quit, where you just want to throw in the freaking towel. We just want to throw in the towel, right? Good grief. I just want to throw in the freaking towel. You know, but understanding your why has to be stronger than your desire to want to throw in the towel. You know, your desire has to be stronger than your desire to quit. Your whys have to be so strong. And so, and I think lastly, it says to be kind to yourself. And Lord, I'm telling you, this is a revelation for me. I'm just sharing with you my revelation. Be kind to yourself. It says, be kind to yourself. Resistance is normal. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Don't expect perfection. Focus on progress. And that is what I have to do. If I'm going to get past this resistance, this force field that I feel has been resurrected, resurrected, this dam of sorts that has erected itself, and maybe that's what I mean. It's erected. The dam is erected. This force field of resistance that has been erected. I just have to be kind to myself. I have to remember my why. I have to create accountability, start small, and acknowledge it. And today, this video is me acknowledging it. And so I hope this has helped. And if you're listening, let me know what you do to get past that force field of resistance. You know, how do you break down the walls of resistance, which we've learned is a normal process, well, which I've learned. Maybe you've already known that. But give me some tips. Help me understand how you push past resistance, you know, because I'm determined to grow. And now that I've acknowledged it, now that I'm understanding my whys, now that I have to work on finding someone to help me be accountable, and then being kind to myself, because I haven't been the kindest person to myself. And so that's it. I'll talk to you later. Definitely, we'll be taking this journey together. And let me know what you do when you are faced with that dam or that erected wall of resistance. You have a good day.